Security Awareness. How Safe Are You? By Joseph Marrier. Why is security important? These days, millions of people, maybe even you, have most, if not all, of their personal information online on social media sites, banking sites, online shopping sites, etc. How safe are you? Are you being watched? Is someone stealing all of your information right out from under you? In 2014, 47% of American adults had personal information accessed and stolen. In 2013, 7% of US businesses lost 1 million or more from cyber attacks. Cyber attacks are a real threat in this day and age, and we need to try our best to prevent them. Here is some information to help you be safer. Types of attacks. Social engineering. This type of attack relies heavily on human involvement. It tricks people into breaking security procedures to obtain confidential information, documents, etc. Trojans. Malicious security breaking program that is disguised as something harmless. Much like and named after the Trojan horse used by the Greeks against the Trojans to infiltrate Troy by hiding soldiers inside a seemingly harmless statue of a horse. Unpatched software. Using outdated software may leave you susceptible to attacks. Types of attacks continued. Phishing. Attempt to obtain sensitive information like usernames, passwords, and credit card details by disguising themselves as a trustworthy entity. Network traveling worms. A computer program that has the ability to copy itself from one machine to another. They can carry payloads to cause damage and harm to computer networks. Advanced persistent threats, where an unauthorized person gains access to a network and stays there undetected for a period of time. Their intention is to steal data and info rather than cause damage to the network or organization. Malvertising. Attackers upload infected display ads to different sites using an ad network. These ads are then distributed to sites that match certain keywords and search criteria. Once a user clicks on one of these ads, some type of malware will be downloaded. Antivirus. A good start to keeping your information secure is downloading an antivirus software on your laptop or desktop. Some well-known softwares like McAfee, Webroot, Norton, Avast, and others can help you keep your computer safe with a payment of just $20 to $30. Antivirus software can save you from visiting bad sites and contracting viruses like Trojans. Using effective passwords. A good password can go a long way in protecting yourself from attacks. An effective password should be 8 characters or longer and include upper and lowercase letters and numbers and sometimes symbols. Effective passwords continued. Change your passwords periodically. This is a very effective way to keep people from figuring out your passwords and getting into your accounts. Do not use common dictionary words. Do not include personal information in the password. The longer the password, the better. The longer your password is, the harder it will be for someone or something to crack it. Also, using symbols in a password can make it more effective. Some people often fall victim to attacks called shoulder surfing, where someone stands behind you or close enough to see your keystrokes and memorize or write down your password. So be careful and be aware of who is around you next time when you type in your password or PIN. Locking your devices. If you want to keep people from peeping at your phone or computer when you aren't around, you should put a PIN or password lock on it. Keeping a lock on your devices is a very good way to ensure no one gets into them. Mobile devices. As you know, mobile platforms like cell phones and tablets have burst onto the scene of technology in recent years. They have taken over the market, and 80% of people I know either have a smartphone or a tablet. These truly are amazing pieces of technology, but they also open many more doors to attacks. Types of mobile attacks. Malicious web links. They aim to entice users with special offers. Web ads. Hackers use malvertising to inject malicious advertisements into legitimate online ads and web pages. Ransomware. Hackers hijack photos, videos, and personal information until they are paid by the victim. Unwanted software. Junk mobile apps that get onto the device using deceptive ads and install unwanted programs. Information leakage. Users are unaware that certain apps may be leaking important user info. Securing your mobile device. Use passwords or PIN locks on the lock screen. Keep software up to date. Don't download apps you don't need. If you don't use an app anymore, then delete it. Use complex passwords on social media sites. For example, upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. Don't put important personal information on social media. Don't click on suspicious ads. Mobile device theft. Mobile devices like smartphones are expensive. You don't want that hard-earned money being taken away from you, right? Keeping your mobile device safe and in your hands is very important. Don't leave your device in open areas. Keep the screen locked to turn away thieves. Keep it in a pocket that it won't fall out of. Encryption. Encryption is one of the most effective ways to protect personal emails and files. Encryption is a type of encoding that makes the info only available to authorized viewers. Businesses, agencies, and even militaries use encryption to protect their interests. Email encryption. If you are serious about protecting your emails, a good way to do it is encryption. You can encrypt the connection from your provider, your email messages, and your stored and archived email messages. The downfall is that your emails can be accessed by attackers once they leave your PC and venture throughout cyberspace. File encryption. Files can be encrypted like emails to keep people from being able to get into them and view them without authorization. If you are serious about protecting your files from attackers, encryption is a smart way to do this. Social media. Social media is an awesome form of technology that allows us to stay in contact with family and friends, share information, videos, pictures, etc. But it can also leave users vulnerable to attack. Depending on how much you share on social media, an attacker could ruin your life and make you very unhappy. How to protect your social media accounts. Be careful of who you add. There are plenty of fake accounts out there that want to be friends with you. Don't let them in. Share at your own risk. If you want to protect yourself, you have to be careful of what you put on social media. Use strong passwords. As we covered earlier, A strong password can go a long way in protecting you and your information. Get rid of old accounts. If you used to use an application like Facebook or Twitter and you don't use it anymore, get out there and delete that old account. Use a security software. Patch management and updates. Keeping your PC up to date is a good way to stay in the clear from infections. Microsoft, Mac, and the other companies are always updating their software to improve security and ease of use. Managing patches is also a good practice to keep your computer up to date and ready to go. Backups. Backing up your devices is a very good habit to get into. It is the archiving of data, so it can be used to restore the info after a data loss event. You can do backups on optical disks or hard disks, like a USB drive. Web browser security. There are a lot of scary things on the internet. To ensure that you don't run into some nasty websites, you should manage your browser security settings. Most security softwares also protect you when surfing the internet and warn you about malicious or unknown sites. Browser security continued. Some practices you should put to use regularly are keeping your browser updated. An updated browser is more secure than an outdated one. Uninstall plugins that you don't need. Old and out-of-date plugins can leave you susceptible to attack. Deleting these plugins will keep you safer. Keep the plugins you need updated. Enable click-to-play plugins. You want to enable click-to-play plugins because having autoplay on slows down your PC. Resetting browsers. If you feel like you may have an infected browser, or you feel like you just need to have a fresh start, you can simply reset your browser to its default settings and start over. This is a good solution to fix damaged or infected extensions and plugins. This can normally be done by going to the settings in your browser, but each one is a little bit different. Here is a link explaining how to do it on most common browsers. Most secure browsers. If you don't enjoy looking behind your back while online, wondering who may be watching you, a good browser to use is Tor browser. It can be installed on all operating systems and is one of the most secure browsers available. For common and everyday browsers, Mozilla Firefox and Chrome both sit atop the totem pole, with Internet Explorer, Edge, and others falling in behind them. Standard user versus administrative user. In Windows, there are two types of users. A standard user has the normal capabilities, but has a limited ability to change settings and download or uninstall programs and software. The administrator can freely do whatever he or she wants to do on the computer. So what mode is the safest? Most people go for the administrator user when setting up their PCs because it lets you work freely and doesn't bother you about installing certain things or changing settings. In reality, the safest mode is the standard user because of its restrictions. You are much less likely to contract viruses from a bad file or ruin your computer by accidentally changing a vital setting. Filtering web content. Filtering content can be an effective type of security because it restricts users from visiting certain sites. These sites could have been blocked for many reasons, but most often are blocked because they contain bad material or viruses. This would be a good thing for parents with young children to do so their children do not visit any dangerous sites. Web browser extensions. Web browser extensions are sometimes useful tools. They can make browsing easier and improve how you surf the internet. But sometimes an extension can get infected and someone may be snooping on your browsing. The best way to combat this is to keep everything up to date and delete extensions you don't use.